Alright, what's up guys, how's it going? It's Ron here. I know in my last video I said I will do a review on AirPods Pro, but in this video I actually want to do the iPhone 10 performance and how it does on a day-to-day basis. So, this is my iPhone 10 256GB. It has the A11 Bionic chip with 3 gigs of RAM. It has a 5.8-inch Retina HD display with 458 pixels per inch. This has a OLED display, and ever since I switched to the iPhone 10, I cannot go back to an older iPhone. I just can't. Pretty much every non-OLED display iPhone has a home button. That's another reason why I can't go back. I love the gesture-based UI. It is perfect. It's compact. It has a nice size screen, so it works good for me. So we are gonna do a Geekbench. We're gonna get some Geekbench results. So let's go into Geekbench here, and we're just gonna run a CPU score. It's probably going to take as long as it did on the iPad. I mean, these are older devices with older chips, so let's go ahead and run the CPU score or benchmark. Like I said in my last video, still learning how to edit and everything, so I'm just gonna let this run its course without skipping it. I'm using my iPad to film this, so I am sorry for the quality if it's lower. I mean, the iPad 7th gen has a lower quality camera than the iPhone 10. Now, something that is different with the iPhones than, or compared to the iPads and the Apple Watch, is that it does have a battery meter inside settings. If no one remembers, I think it was last year, the year before, Apple got in trouble for lowering the performance of iPhones due to lower capacity batteries that were, on their way out the door. So Apple acknowledged this, and then with its next version of iOS, it introduced the battery setting. I mean, it already had battery settings, but to show you where your battery capacity is. And I believe mine is at 92%, but we'll take a look after the CPU benchmark runs. So it's actually moving quite faster than the iPad did. I'm surprised. Let's see what my battery's at. 38%. Has decent battery life. I can't complain about it. We're going to try to keep this video short too. Should be finishing up here in a couple seconds. Alright, it has a single core score of 25, or a single core score of 935 and a multi-core score of 2534. So let's go through and look at all the specs. It has an Apple A11 Bionic 6-core chip. It's on iOS 13.3, so the latest version. Memory, about 3 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I know on the iPad I was able to do a comparison with newer devices. There it is. So the average is around 918, but that's to compare with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the 11 Pro, which are both the same with the 11, the 10s, the 10s Max, the 10R. They're the same chipset too. The Apple A13 and Apple A12. And then the 8 Plus and the 8, which has the same chipset as the iPhone 10, which is the A11. And then we're getting into the older devices here. And then with the multi-core score, I mean, we're sitting about 1,000 less on the 11 Bionic, but that does not translate into real-world usage. This phone flies. Yes, it has a lower Geekbench score, but this phone flies. It holds up really good till this day, from the day it released back in 2017. And this iPhone was the first of its kind. This was a massive shift from the classic home button iPhones, without an all-screen design. Had the big chin, big forehead. So let's go back, and we're actually going to do a compute benchmark, which measures the performance of the GPUs. This might take around the same time as it did to do the CPU benchmark. And then we're going to go and look at the battery. And by the way, if anyone's wondering what this case is, this is the Apple leather case. Mine's kind of beat up a little bit. This retails for $49.99 at really any real retailer. It is a very good quality. The buttons are actually metal. This is actually for the 10s. So as you can see, if I put it close up, the bottom of the camera is actually wider. The cutout's actually wider than the actual iPhone 10 camera is, and that's because this is an iPhone 10s case. But the overall body of the phone is the same size as the iPhone 10. I'm minimalistic when it comes to cases. I had an OtterBox and a Blackweb case, and they were just too clunky, so I went and got this case. It's very great quality. I cannot complain. And then this glass screen protector, I got it from Best Buy. I had them install it. I forgot what brand it is, but you can find cheap glass screen protectors anywhere. It's held up. I've dropped this phone many of times, and it hasn't cracked one bit. Overall, the phone is in good shape. Well, looks like we're not going to be able to keep this video short. I tried. So this has a middle score of 3355. I am gonna research what metal means with a metal score. I know in the last video I said leave it down in the comments, but I'm gonna actually research it myself to see what it means. So the results is 3355. This is the same stuff you've seen on the last CPU benchmark. And then this is compared to the newer devices. I mean, all of them are highly above. So that's going to be CPU and GPU benchmark for the iPhone 10. And let's close this out. Like I said, I love the gesture-based UI. It is perfect. This phone, like I said, flies. I mean, apps open good. Camera's already open. The App Store, it just comes up. Settings. I mean, let's try Google Maps. Watch app. I mean, this is perfect. I love this. I haven't had an iPhone this fast in a long time. So let's actually go back to settings. Let's actually close out all these other apps. I don't like having apps open. It's a pet peeve of mine. Let's go back to settings and let's go down to battery. Oops, that's privacy. Alright, so my battery health is at 92%. It is supporting normal peak performance. My battery life right now is at 33%. Battery life is alright. I'm having to charge it more than most people with newer iPhones. I mean, obviously, it's an older iPhone, so I'm using dark mode, which dark mode on an OLED display is very nice. The blacks are true blacks. The pixels are not backlit, so the pixels are off pretty much. And just all around a great phone. Face ID works perfect. I can't test Face ID out right now because I have the camera over the iPhone and it's in the way. So Face ID is perfect. I mean, it's an all around good phone. I recommend the iPhone 10 to anybody that doesn't have enough money to get the iPhone 11 Pro or iPhone 11, which can range anywhere from I think $700 all the way to $1,500. Um, I picked this phone up third party off of Facebook Marketplace. I picked it up for $480, and as this phone gets older, see, I bought this last year when the 10s and 10s Max and 10R were still the newest iPhones. So as this phone gets older, it's going to get cheaper, and I think this is a really great option. The A11 Bionic chip, I think, was ahead of its time, as it's held up even 2.5 years later. The RAM, it's a decent amount of RAM for how optimized iOS is, and it's an all-around great option. The next video, I believe, is going to be on the AirPods Pro, and then after that, we're going to do a review on the Apple Watch. But that's going to be it for this video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what I can do better with my videos. And that's going to be it. Share the video. That'll be greatly appreciated. But that's going to be it for this one. Peace.